I'm Mr. 5. I was the graphics teacher at South Tech for almost 5 years, and we won this contest every single year I was a teacher. Now I'm honored to be the judge in the contest. And I thought it would help if I created a tutorial that showed you how to make an amazing cover design, which is going to wow the judges and wow me. You want to win those amazing prizes. Have something that you can put on your college applications and your resume. And in fact, if you want to be a professional artist someday, having a winning contest entry is almost as good as having real-world experience. It shows colleges and employers that you care about your future and that you're good at what you do. I used to be the creative director at ToysRUs.com, and now I get to create great designs here at the school district. I know what you should be doing to put together amazing cover ideas that will get the judges and your fellow students excited about what you're doing. When you're walking down the aisle at your favorite store, deciding what to buy next, what are you looking for? Are you looking for cool packaging? Something that stands out in the crowd? What about when you're choosing a cool t-shirt? Does the image on the shirt matter? Of course it does. According to advertising today, people make most of their buying decisions based on brand identity and image. The logo. Unlike a book cover, each IT conference has its own theme. The cornerstone of a look and feel is a good logo. Pretend this year's theme is technological mobility. Learning on the go. What would make a good logo for that? I usually start out with a pen and a piece of paper, and I come up with a bunch of ideas which we call thumbnails. It's important, this step, because it helps me get all of my ideas on paper and well organized. It's the same process used by artists the world over. Which one speaks to you? Which will be doable in the time we have allotted? Here's a hint. The simplest idea is usually the best one. I'm going to create a really quick logo design for my cover in Adobe Illustrator, but it can also be done in Photoshop or by hand, and you should certainly take more time with it than I did. Here, take a look at this example. Not bad, huh? Remember, this logo has to be usable on the cover. Also, it has to work on bags, signs, and other event-related things. There is a generic technology conference logo design which we've created, which you can use on the body of your cover. We provided you with a district logo, which also needs to be somewhere on the cover, usually on the back. You know, there are people walking around the building today still wearing their conference shirts from previous years. Something you're making is going to be on people's shirts for years and years. People will remember your design and this event, and actually they're going to remember you by extension. So remember, this isn't just about creating a cool cover design. It's about creating a look and feel for an entire event. What works best to commemorate an event? Well, a really cool logo. Let's look at some of the winners from previous years. They all have unique logo designs and themes for the event. Some have even gone so far as to design a logo for the technology conference too, but you don't need to do that, since we made one for you which should go on every cover from now on. The aesthetic. Now let's talk about the cover design and how it looks on the page. Remember that design is not the same as art. It needs to be pretty, sure, but it's most important that it's good visual communication. A good graphic designer is kind of like a good writer, while an artist is like a poet. It's great to be both, but let's not confuse one for the other. We're looking for a killer design here and not necessarily a brilliant artwork. Given my choices that I put here, I would say that cover art goes first, because cover art is the thing that goes on the cover. It's going to be the big picture. Then I would do the event logo that we just created in Illustrator. Then perhaps the tech conference logo. What's next important? I think the date. Then the school district information. And then, of course, the district logo. Does that make sense to you? If not, rearrange it. Now that I have all my elements together, Let's make some thumbnail ideas to go with the technological mobility idea. Can you think of a good image to go with the concept? Using the pretend theme, technological mobility, learning on the go, what would make an awesome image to go with that great logo? See how I sketched out my concept using the hierarchy tree we created? What's the most important thing to go on a cover design? What's the second most important? Do my thumbnails match my hierarchy? For this example, I'm thinking about using a picture. I use stock photography and I actually paid for an image. But you have to have permission for any image you use. So you can take your own photos or paint something or buy a photo from a stock image house and then scan it into Photoshop for your design. Clarity and legibility. I want to talk a moment about clarity. It's important that we design things that make sense. Clear, easy to understand, good fonts, readable at a distance. Let's try to make our text make sense. Use fonts that aren't too decorative or too scripty, and never, ever use all capital script letters. Remember, this is design, not art. Visual communication, not poetry. Remember? The theme of the event is the most important part. Try and come up with something, an idea which everybody else didn't come up with already. The obvious ideas are the ones that people have already come up with. I remember when I was teaching, one year the theme was surfing the digital wave, and everyone in class did this surfer. Some of them put a surfer on the wave of digital wires, some of them did an icon surfing on a wave of binary numbers. I mean, it was all very cool, but really obvious. I remember asking them if everyone in our class was doing a surfer, did they think that the other kids at the other schools would do a surfer too? Of course, out of close to 100 design students, I had to pick the top 5 designs to present for judging. There were some awesome surfers in there, let me tell you. I wanted the judges to pick from our very best. I ended up choosing one surfer and the rest were out-of-the-box ideas. Let's look at the design that actually won the contest. Notice how there's no surfer? Notice how there is a distinct logo? Think about how easy it was for the judges to pull the logo off the cover design and use it for different things like t-shirts and hats to make the event more memorable. The same thing happened a few years earlier with the theme 3-2-1 Blast-Off. In that contest, almost everyone did a rocket ship. Let's look at some examples. The winner of this contest thought outside the box and did a take on Leonardo da Vinci's work. The Blast-Off was flying machines from the 15th century. The technology from that period blended in with the future. How cool is this idea? The process. Read the specs which are provided to you. The design has to be 300 dpi, it has to be 11 by 17, and it has to be CMYK. Like any cover design, it's folded down the middle, with a margin, with bleeds. But do you even know what all of that means? Here's a graphic of our cover design. Do you want the artwork to bleed off the edges? If so, you need to respect the bleed. The artwork needs to bleed 1/4 of an inch around each side. In Adobe Illustrator, it's easy to set up a bleed. But in Photoshop, you have to add 1/4 of an inch to each side of your document. Add bleeds by adding guides. First, let's take a piece of paper and fold it in half. Let's mark the front and the back, just enough so we can be clear about what goes where. When we fold it back out, the cover design is on the right and the back is on the left. Put a guide down the middle so you know where the fold is. Here, I'm going to add items to the sides of my book cover. Let's add a photo, the photo I created, and so on. This is where your creativity can really shine, picking out images and making illustrations. It took me all of about 10 minutes to design this cover. Imagine what you can do if you make something really special. This is a quick and easy cover design suitable for submission. It's not an award-winning design. I'm going to leave that up to you. Pay close attention to all the things I have done that need to be on the cover. The logo, the words, and so on. Make sure you have all of those elements on your cover design. In closing, do your own thing. Be creative, and don't do the first thing that comes into your head. Research, and look at other cover designs from history. Look at poster designs and then draw your inspiration from them. Be sure to make it your own, though. There's a huge difference between inspiration and plagiarism. Every year we get a ton of great submissions, and I wanted to make this video so that you can have an advantage over all the other students. If you follow my advice, follow the processes used by designers across the world, create thumbnails, and make sure that everything is exactly where it's supposed to be, you'll have a shot at impressing the judges and impressing me, and winning those awesome prizes. It's important that you learn this aspect of design to be successful in the contest and stand out in the crowd. Thanks for taking the time to watch this tutorial. I know you want to give us your best efforts, and it's my hope that this little lesson will help you on your way. Hi, I'm Adam Fiveson, and I don't have any clue what I'm doing.
I agree to that.
Okay. So what makes a good logo? Then I'm going to produce that video. What? Once I pick the logo I like the most. This is so screwed. You know, I'm going to stand over here now so it looks like I'm in a different position. When you're walking down the aisle at your favorite store, at least we're having fun, right? I used to be the creative director of ToysRUs.com, and now I get to create beautiful designs for the school district. So believe me when I tell you, I know what people are looking for, and I know exactly what it's going to take for you to win the judge's approval for this contest. What do you look for? Are you looking for... Don't move you're moving the camera around, silly. When you're walking down the aisle at your favorite store, killing me with this moving around. You're freaking me out. I'm going like this, trying to keep up with the camera.
Don't you worry, the camera's keeping up with you. It's talking back to you.
I do like that. Unlike your favorite magazine or that's Stopping the Digital Wave. I can't even think of some of the other ones. Mapping the Digital Future. Technological.
Go ahead, do it again.
What makes it... Hi.
Hi.
I'm Mr. Five.
Hi, Mr. Five.
No, this is not an interactive video. This is a... Now we're going to pause that and we'll go... Okay. Winning a design... You're zooming in on me and it's freaking me out. Like big time. Okay.
Come on.
What are you recording me over here for? I'm Mr. Five. My students call me Mr. Five, so you can too. The reason my students call me Mr. Five. What are you doing? Hi, I'm Mr. Five. My students call me Mr. 12. Am I in the frame? I'm recording over here. No? Am I in the frame?
You're in the frame! Damn, that was good too. What's wrong with you?
Putting this tutorial together, video.
Be serious.
I've never done this before. Hi. My name
Hi, I'm Mr. Five, and I was the graphic design teacher at South Tech Academy. My students won this competition almost every year when I was teaching. Now I'm a judge in the contest. I thought it would be helpful if I could create a tutorial to help make a cover which will wow the judges.
And you, the current student, definitely need some help in putting these things together. That's terrible. Hi, I'm Adam Fiveson. You recording down here? Don't record down here.